All right, what's up, family? Yeah, I don't know if you guys heard or not, but Kool Herc was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a week or so ago. When I first heard the news, I was kind of surprised, but really, not really. And that's because, this hoopla about the 50th anniversary, and they're pointing to 1520 Sedgwick Avenue, 1973, as being the beginning of hip hop. And so if you're going to induct someone in this year, in 2023, why not Kool Herc? All right. So on that level, I wasn't surprised. But it is a slap in the face to Black Americans because the culture comes from us. And here you have a Jamaican-born individual getting credit for things that come out of Black American culture. And it also leaves out important members who preceded her, like John Brown, like Hollywood, like Mario, like Cool DJ D, Smokey. Individuals like that are left out, and they should be recognized. The sad truth of it all, they probably won't get recognized. Now, what I'm curious to see whether or not, who knows, next year, would they try to induct Flash? He's one of the founding, so-called one of the founding fathers. So I wonder if that's going to come next. And, Flash has an argument, hey, he was considered one of the founding fathers thanks to the Source magazine. And so he might get inducted next year for all we know. And then, but I don't think Bambaataa would, given the situation that he's dealing with. But so we have to see what will happen. But the sad thing about it is that there will be no Black American representation. The sad truth of it all is that we have no one to blame but ourselves. As Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, we are the reason why this has happened. We didn't gatekeep our culture. We let everyone in. And other individuals wrote the history of hip hop instead of us. And now we have to deal with the consequences of that. My thing is, now that he's inducted, it'll be almost impossible to change the narrative as to whether or not hip hop comes from Black American culture. Because basically what the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame just did is that they co-signed the folklore. Just think about it this way. Think about all the pushback Black Americans are getting for just trying to tell the real history of the United States. They want to ban books. In some states, you can't even talk about Rosa Parks. That's how bad it is. No one wants to talk about what Black Americans have contributed or done. They're okay with elevating other individuals, but they want to stifle our accomplishments. And so because we were quiet, we let the narrative flow and continue to grow, we may never be able to change the narrative. Let me remind you what Grand Mix with DXT said about the founding fathers.
I want to ask you a question. Source magazine in 1992 did an article about what they called the Big Three, the King story. Mm-hmm. And they deemed the Big Three, I believe, out of hip-hop, the Big Three big names, big figures, big people out of hip-hop was Afrika Bambaataa, Grandmaster Flash, and Kool Herc. Mm-hmm. What did you think of that article? Are you ready?
Well, that's a big Otello, should I say? Okay. So, let me just tell the story. So, there was a photo shoot, and because I'll come back around to it because I went along with that at first, like everybody else. We all just went along with it, just following the narrative because we wasn't in the know of understanding what these things are. Like there's a photo that we took for the Source magazine, and we rushed in to take this picture. We was doing these meetings, and then we rushed in to take the picture. And we just went in, took the picture, and then when I got the print back, I looked, and the backdrop was a jail cell. And you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Yeah, the backdrop is a prison. We're in a bullpen. And it was like, hey, we need to get this picture. We need to take this picture. We run out of time. It's me, Baby, Damon Dash, Crazy Legs, Mobb Deep, Chuck D. And we're in this picture. And when you look at the picture, it's a bullpen. And, it's magic.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And so, like I said, once you're in the know, you start to see these things. But we did a photo shoot. And it was all of us, all the DJs in the Bronx, all the top DJs was at this photo shoot. We shot all day. Ernie Papicelli.
Ernie P. Yeah.
Ernie P.
You just,
my brother. Yeah, I just saw him.
Just saw him.
So we just did this full-blown photo shoot, right? And then when we were done, TC Islam, bless his heart, he's no longer with us. He comes in, he says, hey, man, I got to get this one picture. Let me get this one picture. I'm working on something for this guy, and I'm not saying his name. So y'all know who I'm talking about. We're going to do this picture, and I want him in the middle, this guy, right? I want him in the middle. And so they took this picture, and everybody was like, okay, cool. A few months later, Source Magazine comes out with this picture, that picture, and it says, the founding fathers of hip-hop. And we were all like, huh? And then for some strange reason, man, we all just said, well, man, whatever.
Yeah.
Not realizing what the intention was with that article.
All right. So that's what it was. Brothers like DXT, just didn't know the significance of a picture like that. How important a picture like that would be in telling the story of hip hop. And because not enough of Black Americans challenged the narrative, it took hold. I featured this poem in, it's not a poem, it's a quote in another video of mine because it's so relevant in terms of, how we allow things to get to where they are today. And let me read it again. And I put this in another video, but, I think we all should live by this quote. Life is the art of being well deceived. And in order that the deception may succeed, it must be habitual and uninterrupted. For so long, we as Black Americans, foundational Black Americans, have been silent, while the seed of folklore has been planted. And the roots are very strong now. And it's blossoming now. The flowers are coming up at the ground. The plants are coming from under the ground now. And that narrative now is so much of the public conscious that I'm of the opinion we may never be able to turn it around. We may have to take this L. I hope not. But we might have to. Now, when Kool Herc was inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I was glad to hear that he wasn't inducted as some kind of creator of hip hop. He was inducted as an influencer. So there's a lot of influencers of hip hop, but he, apparently is one of the first to be considered an influencer, I imagine. So I was okay with that. Thank God he wasn't inducted as a creator, because it would be very difficult to change that narrative. If you go on Wikipedia or go on any website, you'll see when you put Kool Herc's name in there or look him up, most of them almost say he was a creator of hip hop or he started hip hop. And so it's going to be a tough road to change things here. Now let me play this clip from the Breakfast Club.
Yeah, and also we got to salute DJ Kool Herc. He was inducted by LL Cool J.
Cindy Campbell, high school student at the time, she wanted to raise some money for back to school clothes.
So she invited all her friends and charged 25 cents for the ladies, 50 cents for the boys, and most important, she also asked her older brother Clive, who was 18, to DJ. That party has come to be recognized as the birthplace of hip-hop. Her brother Clive, better known to the world as DJ Kool Herc, has been justly called the father of hip-hop. Clive was larger than life in every sense of the word, and that earned him the name Hercules. DJing, rapping or MCing, b-boying, better known as breakdancing, writing, better known as graffiti. Herc had his hand in every aspect of hip-hop that would eventually take over the globe.
Dropping a clue bombs for Kool Herc. Absolutely. None of us would be in a position.
Now listen to what Charlemagne said. Let me back that up. This is what folklore sounds like.
And in every aspect of hip-hop that would eventually take over the globe.
Dropping a clue bombs for Kool Herc. Absolutely. None of us would be in the position we are in right now if it wasn't for Kool Herc. Not at all. Once again, you're responsible for a whole genre, but you
hear that? He's responsible for a whole genre. See, this is deep. This narrative is deep. Let's go.
Just getting into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. What the hell are y'all doing over there, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame?
That's right.
Come on, man. This man is responsible for a whole genre, a genre that changed the world, a culture that changed the world, and he's just getting in. Hey, man, I guess better late than never.
That's right. All right, well, that is your rumor report.
I mean, how disrespectful is that? Because it all comes from Black Americans, foundational Black Americans. And he's giving, somebody tell me in the comments, is Charlemagne, does he have any Caribbean ancestry? Because I can't imagine a foundational Black American saying some crazy stuff like that. That he's responsible for a whole genre that come out of Black American culture. That's insane. Let's go.
And I really think that when they talk about some of these things, I think they should be in the history books. I mean, we learn so much about history, so much about where things were created, where things started from. And I think that the foundation of hip hop, where it started and how it started, should be in these history books too for these kids as well.
It will be.
It should be now. How about that? 50 years, it should be now.
Yeah, it will be.
All right. All right, well, when we come back, we got the People's Choice Mix.
Well, now he's talking about being in history books. Folklore being in history books. Man, as foundational Black Americans, we got a hill to climb. I'm telling you, we got our work cut out for us. Well, I'm not saying it can't be done, but we dug ourselves a hole by being quiet, by being inclusive. We dug ourselves a hole. Now, to Kool Herc's credit, in his acceptance speech, he did call out 2 African-American pioneers in music. And so let's listen to that.
All right. All right. Buster, we had our problems, but you're all right now. You can shut me out. And that's it, you know what I'm saying? But some people is not here. Some people's not here. I love them. From James Brown, Baby Huey in the sentence, and also a lot of people, man. I'm not going to rip so far.
Okay, so he goes on. He was pretty emotional, but I did appreciate the fact that he called out some Black Americans who were very influential in his life. He always acknowledged that he was African Americanized, so that was good to see. Now, the reason why I say it's going to be a hard mountain to climb is because I don't see the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame taking back that honor from Kool Herc. Let's say we're successful and we prove our case that hip hop comes from foundational Black Americans. Do you actually think they're going to take that honor from Kool Herc? Absolutely not. So we're kind of stuck with that reality. And Kool Herc, for many people around the world, will be known as the person who started hip hop. We're going to have to eat that one. But that doesn't mean we can't stop further craziness from happening. But all that means we got to stay on code. We have to remain on code. We got to protect our culture. Gatekeep our culture. From this day forward, let's do that. Hopefully, let's see what kind of impact Tyreek's documentary will have. I understand Dewan B is doing a doc as well. Let's see what kind of impact that has, and telling the story from us, who are the originators of this culture, and see what kind of impact that may have. And we can only hope for the best. All right. Until the next time, guys. Peace.